So I want to talk a little bit about how you can simplify the way you can introduce permaculture to your homestead. Permaculture can sometimes seem very overwhelming, especially when you look at the people that have been doing it for 10, 15, 30 years, and you see their beautiful designs where all their systems are incorporated with each other. They complement each other in some way. That's like the 10th time they've crowed while I've been trying to say something. Let me try a little bit later. Okay, I think we may be good. So those designs are incredible. And the owners have used their years and years of experience to create those things. And that's something that's good to have a goal to strive for, but you don't have to start that way. It can be simple. So let me describe how we introduce permaculture to our homestead development and how we will continue to grow it. The first thing we do is we operate based upon zones. You have zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, so on and so forth. And when you're creating your design, you start in zone 1 being the closest to your house, the one that you're gonna visit the most times every single day. Zone 1 for us is our little garden right here, and our kitchen garden right outside the front door. Also included in our zone 1 is our egg layers and our ducks. We visit them twice a day, so we want to be able to make sure that we build up the efficiency in those systems before we move on to zone 2. Now here's a difference between whether a garden should be zone 1, zone 2. Zone 1, I have 3 50-foot rows right here. These are not, I would say, crop gardens. These are not ones that I would have massive harvests off of. I mean, I do pretty well, but this is also something I typically visit every single day when it is flourishing. Versus if I had 10 rows of, I don't know, tomatoes or something, I can put that in zone 2 because I may not visit that every single day. So for the first year and a half of us living here, we've really only focused on zones 1. Now we haven't completely ignored zones 2 or 3. We actually did a little bit in there in the very beginning. So everything that you see behind me is what we consider zone 2. In our first year, we did do a few things to zone 2. We cut down some pretty tall trees so that we could start allowing sunlight to get over here. It was also nothing but red clay, so we put a little bit of wood chips on top of it just to keep it from eroding and us losing all the soil. Other than that, we really haven't done a whole lot so far in that area, except we built the duck house and we're making it ready for ducks to start changing that soil over there. The other part of zone 2 is the recent videos that you've seen, us clearing the fence line down at the bottom. We started to encroach that area because we're about ready to start incorporating zone 2 into our homestead some more. Building a perimeter fence in the beginning wasn't a financial opportunity for us, but there also just wasn't enough time. So what we did in the beginning is we installed this fence in our zone 1 so that we have an area for the dogs to go out. And then zone 3, we would consider this fully forested area that we have at the bottom of our property. One day we may start to encroach into there and start maybe putting pigs through there, goats through there, doing something. But for now, it's gonna be untouched. So I've talked about the zones, but how does that actually mean permaculture into the homestead? Well, you have to use the different operations within your zones to help complement the other operations within your zones. Let's take our garden, for example. This is our main garden. This is where I have my tomatoes, peppers, leafies, greens, you know, everything that I grow in bulk, I grow in this garden right here. We'll take a look where it's next to. It's next to our chickens. We have it there for a reason. The chickens provide all the compost that goes into the garden. Not all, I'll show you the second operation, but they provide a lot of the compost under their deep litter run. And guess what? I can take food from that and I feed them all day long. Speaking of gardens and fertilizers, these little guys running around up here provide all the fertilizer I need for all my gardens. Also, if you see all those lovely wood shavings and hay and rabbit droppings that have fallen on the ground, guess what we do when we put out new grass seed? This gets emptied and goes right on top of the grass seed. So cleaning out our chicken coop helps build the soil that was just deadly here. The soil was nothing but red clay all around the property. It was horrible. And I would say our first introduction of leaving zone 1 and starting to enter zone 2 is when we first got our meat chickens. Our meat chickens were the ones that were being rotated within our zone 2. It still wasn't fully developed in grass, wasn't, you know, growing really strong except for in a few areas, until we put the meat chickens in there. The meat chickens scratched up the ground, they would fertilize the ground, and we would throw grass seed after they were on it. And guess what? We got grass growing after that. Another introduction into zone 2 was our rabbit tractors. When we would breed the rabbits, we would take the litters after they were weaned from their moms, put them into the rabbit tractor and start rotating them across the pasture area. Well, guess what they did? They also fertilized the lawn, increased the soil, and helped the grass start to grow again. I think a lot of people make the mistake of looking at these abundant permaculture designs and beautiful things that they have established over years and years and years, and they try to accomplish that. They try to accomplish the whole thing. Start small or you're gonna overwhelm yourself. Start in your first zone, get that efficiency built up. I'm telling you, my zone 1 chores, they take less than 10 minutes a day for everything that we do. Even during the mid time of summer, it may go up to 15 because of all the harvesting we have to do. So once we feel like we can achieve the level of efficiency in zone 1 and the way the systems complement each other to where it can continue going, then we look into zone 2. This has been a year and a half later. Now we're gonna start entering zone 2, moving the ducks into zone 2, getting turkeys in June for zone 2, and we can start building onto that zone. Good morning, one and all. Welcome back to Red's Homestead. And welcome to the first day of spring. It's 19 degrees on the first day of spring. That's a little too cold. Baltimore is too cold. Let your ladies out. Yeah, they're like, no, it's too cold. We're gonna hang out here for a bit if you don't mind. I don't blame you. They're out. They have food and water. I think I'll wait to do the rest of the chores until the sun comes up. So we are in the afternoon. I had to work this morning, but the wifey, Shannon, she got quite a bit done. We're about a year and a half into our homestead and we're finally getting the perimeter fence set up. We have gotten most of the hard part cleared out, which is down there. What we have left to do is clear out what we call the zombie wall. The zombie wall was a mountain of trees going all the way down there to keep the zombies out. We are a growing channel and I want you to be a part of it, so make sure you subscribe so you can see everything that we're doing. Dooku! Leave her alone. Shannon's crying out. The cold weather is making the quackers a little frisky. You can see there, I mean, he didn't do anything. He just wanted to jump up. Our big plan tomorrow is to burn. We'll go over there in a second. We've got a lot to burn. She's gonna be pulling with the small trailer. I'm gonna go ahead and get the big trailer. So we're gonna double team this. Well, today is our anniversary, so we are trying to find somewhere to eat.
That's Parker's Carrots.
Oh, okay. Oh, that is a small place. Yeah, we're very much homebodies. All these restaurants are very busy.
We don't like busy.
We don't like busy, so we are very much debating going to the grocery store, buying some steaks and some crab legs, and just cooking at home for our anniversary. We're gonna try one more little area.
All right, so this is the attic. But we could always park up here and then kind of.
Yeah, it look crazy.
Okay. We can park up here and just walk.
Okay. All right, looks like we're braving the outside.
Yeah.
We're gonna eat
The other
somewhere.
thing is the weather's just crap.
Yeah, it is nasty. And we didn't bring an umbrella. we don't plan.
Have a hood.
We are back in a new morning. Got the fire started. A lot of burning to do today. I've got all of that to go through, so I'm gonna be here for a little while. Hello. Have you come to join the fire? So it looks like this is about all we're gonna get done today. It's about 6 hours of burning, and we've got through all these piles almost, and the burn pile. So we'll do this again another day.